Once upon a time in China, there was a noble man. He was a good man and also a typical man for his time. He loved soccer and he hated Japan. When he died, God called upon him and said to him, "You're a good man, so I'm going to grant you a reward. So tell me a wish. Now I'm going to make it true for you." The man was very excited, obviously, and he said, "Dear God, please destroy this country called Japan and make them sink into the ocean because I hate them so much." God said, "Well, this is not very nice, right? I cannot just destroy a country simply because you don't like them. Now tell me something else and I will make it happen for you." This time, the man said, "Dear God, please make the Chinese soccer team win the world championship because I've been praying for this all my life." God thinks about it for a long time. Then he said to the man, "Well, you know what? I will make Japan sink into the ocean then." Thank you very much. Now back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
That's a good reason.
All right. It's our tradition to welcome the guests. So we see there are a lot of guests. Can you introduce yourself, how you know about us?
Yeah, hi, my name is Ding. I've been here before. I'm a ex-Toastmaster. The reason I haven't joined Toastmasters is because I'm looking for a camera and a good microphone. Once I do that, I'll decide on a club I'm joining. But I'm just visiting a lot of Toastmaster club to see which one is interesting. And this club seems very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you, Dean. I remember seeing you more than once. Can you leave us your email so we can send further activity information to you?
Who do I send it to? Who do I give the email to?
Let's see. You can type in the chat if you don't mind. And let's see. Fadwa, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. I'm Fadwa, and I'm joining you today from Paris. So it's 2 a.m. here.
Paris is so far.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to join you today. It's my first time joining your club, and I'm looking to join a club to improve my communication skills, and so I'm glad to join you today. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Although I would really like you to join us, I think 2 a.m. is not good. It's not a good time for you. But
if that works for you, that would be great.
Still enjoy the meeting. If you can privately message me your email, we will send you further information.
Yes, I will do it. Thank you.
Then let's see. Tai Loi, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, from Hong Kong, at Calling Toastmaster. I have a 5-year Toastmaster experience making. And before 5 years, I entered in a mentoring club. And then 2 years ago, I joined the English club. So I like to travel to any corner of the world about the Toastmasters. Thank you.
How do you know about us?
From the Easy Speak platform, maybe.
Wow. Thank you.
Oh, maybe the sign up platform. Sign up. I don't know. Like I don't know what is the site suggest. What forgot.
Thank you.
Okay.
Laura, can you tell us about yourself? How you find us?
Sure. So my name is Laura, and I am a member with Improv, Silicon Valley Improv Club. I know your club from one of the workshops that you had a few months ago, and I've been to your club once. I am on your mailing list. Uh, you find
Laura Lu.
yes.
Yeah, nice to see you again. I think last time we didn't see your email, your video. That's great to see you for the
Correct.
first time.
Correct. I joined you last time from my iPhone.
Yeah, thank you. And let's see. Chi, you are still a guest. Can you introduce yourself and how you find us? You are muted.
Yes. Okay. Hi. I'm Chi. I think this is like is it third meeting? Third or fourth meeting, probably. Yes. I started joining like a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to hear more about speeches and the different communication styles. Yeah.
All right.
The Chi, you will serve as the evaluator for the first speaker, right?
Yes, for Arnie, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes, I remember.
And Annie, you're still a guest. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I fell in love with this club. People are so warm and welcoming and very smart people. And there's so many things I could learn from this club in terms of ideas, thoughts, style of speaking, and the way they conduct themselves. I'm just happy and honored, privileged to be part of this meeting and part of the club soon. I love this club. I love you all.
Thank you, Annie. And Cynthia, you are still a guest. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Like Arnie, I've really enjoyed being a guest at this club. Everybody is very welcoming and very highly motivated. It's been so much fun and so enlightening to listen to everyone, especially to watch the newer members grow. And so I have visited many clubs over time, and this is an exceptional club. So thank you as always.
I see we have more guests. Liang, are you able to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Liang. This is my second time with you. I had been with you one more time a couple of months ago. I joined your humorous topic speech last week, and I was invited to this meeting. Just like Annie, I feel your club is full of smart people and with brilliant ideas. That's why I'd like to join as a guest and to listen to your speech. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. And Manisha, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Manisha Jain and I'm from India. So namaste. Namaste is the greeting in India, and that's why I chose to greet you all with namaste. I'm an image consultant at Sea Changes, and today I'm here to listen to all wonderful people. And I'm here more as a learner today. And however my profession is, I'm an image consultant who helps individuals to enhance their ABCD, that is appearance, behavior, communication, and digital presence. So looking forward for an interactive session, and I apologize as I wouldn't be able to switch on my video, but I'm here to hear you all. Thank you for inviting me. This is my first session.
Thank you, Manisha. And last but not least, Shamala, can you introduce yourself?
Hey, Yufang, and everyone. I'm having some internet issues, so I just made sure I'm on the meeting, on the call, trying to interact with everyone. I'm trying to fix that. The moment I get that fixed, I will jump on the laptop. But I am very happy to be here, just like Cynthia and Arnie. I love this club. I'm still trying to figure out my personal appointments to switch here and there so that I can actually be a member rather than be a guest for too long. And hopefully things will get better in the new year. But I'm, as always, very happy to be here and looking forward to a great session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shamla. Thank you, every guest and members. We will start with our meeting. First, the theme of the meeting is retrospective. We will talk more about that at the table topic section. And let's first start with the prepared speech. The prepared speech is from, let's introduce the functional roles. Preeti, you are the timer. Can you introduce your role?
Sure. Hello, everyone. This is Preeti. Today, as a timer, I'm going to record the participant name and the time taken for the speeches and for table topics and evaluation. For speeches, for 5 to 7 minutes of speech, I'm going to flash the green card for 5 minutes and yellow for 6 and red for 7 minutes. And for evaluation for each speeches, for 2 minutes for the green and yellow for 2 minutes 30 seconds and red for 3 minutes. And for table topics, minimum it should be 1 minute. And for 1 minute, I will flash the green and 1 minute 30 seconds yellow and 2 minutes red. And at the end of the meeting, I'm going to report all the time and the participant name to the Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you, Preeti. Jasmine, you are the R counter. Please introduce your role.
I will be the R counter for today's meeting. And as most of you know, R counter is the one who pay attention to the filler words used by everybody. The filler words usually are the words supposedly used as a crutch or, a speech filler to try to fill the space between sentences. I will try to make a good observation of the usage of that and report back at the end of the evaluation session. Thank you.
Yichong, you are the grammarian. Can you introduce your role?
Yeah, welcome everyone, especially the guests. Since we have many guests today, I will say more about this role. So grammarian is the people who pay close attention and listen very carefully to the language used by the speakers, no matter it's a prepared speech and also impromptu speech. This is very good practice to improve your listening. And then I will take a note. If you look at me, I will have a paper or a pen. We'll take a note of those good usage of language, and also there's something can be improved. Thank you.
Thank you, Yichong. Our first prepared speech is from Ani. Ani's evaluator is Qi. Qi, can you introduce Ani's research speech purpose? It's on the evaluation sheet. Are you able to locate his evaluation sheet?
I have the evaluation form, but I never got like this his pathway or his purpose.
Yeah, it's on the evaluation form.
It's a blank form.
Yes, yes. Can you see?
I could email it to you, fine, because I don't know your email, and later on after the meeting, because if I do that now, I lose my video and audio. So I could email it to you, and you could just email it back to me with your whatever evaluation you had.
Okay.
For me.
Okay, that'll work.
The purpose statement. So Arnie is, okay, let me share my screen. Arnie is.
Oh, wait. I lose my video. Oh, wow.
Are you
Wait,
able to see my screen?
I saw it, but then it okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
So Arnie is working on presentation mastery pass level 3. This project is elective project. The purpose is connect with your audience. So Ani Pa, little things, Ani Pa.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, honored guests and fellow Toastmasters, my evaluator, Chi. Before Japan was sunk by God, according to Dr. Xiang, I was in one of the restaurants, and on the wall, I saw a sign which says, "There are no great things without small things or little things." This reminds me of a nursery rhyme. And I don't know if all of us were exposed to nursery rhymes when we were in the first grade or kindergarten grades. Do you have any favorite nursery rhyme, Preeti? No, maybe about you, Mr. Wang, do you have any favorite nursery rhyme that you could still remember?
Jack and Jill went up the
Got
hill.
it. Or maybe you could not remember now. It's been there for a long time, but all of us in those lower grades were given a number of nursery rhymes for us to learn language, rhyme, rhythm, melody, poetry, and so forth. And I have my own favorite nursery rhymes, not because of its rhythm or rhyme or language or melody, but because of its enduring wisdom that I still remember up to now. And let me share with you that nursery rhyme. For want of a small nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. For want of a horse, the rider was lost. For want of a rider, the battle was lost. And for want of a battle, the whole kingdom was lost, all because of the absence of a small nail so powerful with a huge function in the universe of that kingdom. That teaches me a moral, which is to ignore little things could be risky, and to neglect little things could mean losing the big thing. And to take little things for granted could be a reason for regret. These things sum up together that wisdom that resonates in many levels of our life, whether it's personal, whether it's business, government, or some agencies. And let me share with you a story, an anecdote on the personal level. I used to have a professor in a university here in the Bay Area. He took the bus, and while waiting for the bus, he took out a pen and a pencil, a pen and a notebook or a pencil. And then he started writing every time a paragraph, a page, or even a sentence. I asked him what he was doing so often, and he said he was writing a novel. A novel, waiting for the bus. I was so fascinated after 3 years. Those little paragraphs, those one page, and those sentences and words became a huge book, a novel called The Flight of Time. I realized how little things put together can make and aggregate a big, huge thing, a big, huge accomplishment. Of course, you know Joan Rivers, the great queen of comedy on stage, in the theater from Hollywood. She was asked her writing process, writing how she wrote jokes. And she said, quote, I wrote jokes three jokes a night, unquote. And in a very interesting way, after 10 years of writing jokes, 3 jokes a night, that jokes accumulated into 10 steel cabinets. Small things. But let us not forget small things also in our relationship. Those cards, those flowers, those hugs, those gifts during anniversaries, birthdays, and so forth. Little things could make a lasting relationship. Personal thing. In business, it also resonates in business. Of course, you know Starbucks. Starbucks is are all over the place. One editor of Fortune magazine asked Howard Schultz, the CEO, what's your secret? How come you have so many Starbucks in every corner of this country? And he said, there's no secret about it. What we do is we engage the customer by doing little things. Ask them, how are you today? How come we missed you? Those earrings are beautiful. Oh, I like the dress. Those psychological things are just sufficient to engage them psychologically into coming back as customers. Little things. Those are the wow things created to make them important in the unit, not just somebody who goes there and drink Starbucks coffee. And of course, in government also, for my third point, you remember the Katrina devastation. There was a small crack, hairline crack on the wall of the levee. He didn't pay attention to it. And he said, no, don't worry about it. Doesn't mean anything. But lo and behold, after the storm came, blasting the whole area, flood was there, lives were lost, properties were lost, and of course, jobs, economy were just affected. Little things started by small hairline crack. Little things should not be taken for granted. Pay attention to them because they mean a lot. This reminds me of the song of Johnny James, which says, a line a day, though you're far away, little things mean a lot. Madam Toastmaster!
Now, everyone, you can jot down something to give feedback to our speaker, and you can also write down some ideas, and you can present it later during the evaluation session. Now, let's have 1 minute to do that. The feedback form is in the chat.
Thank you, Thay.
1 minute is up. Our next prepared speaker is Siguang, and Siguang's evaluator is Harry. Harry, can you introduce the speech purpose for Siguang?
Sorry. Oh, okay. It is fellow Toastmasters and welcome guest. It is my honor to be evaluator for Siguang. I understand that he's joining from China, so it is the morning time over there. Siguang is on the pathway called dynamic leadership. He is going to give a speech and will receive the feedback from all of us, and then he's going to incorporate those feedback in his second time to do the same speech. So that is my understanding. His speech will be 5 to 7 minutes. The speech title is a thought of a homecoming. A thought of homecoming. So please welcome Siguang.
Yeah, Siguang, a thought of homecoming.
Hi everybody. Hello from China. I came back to China in May of September, landed in Shanghai airport. After landing, we went through long queue and went through registration, COVID-19 sample collection, and the whole process took about 4 hours until we were sent to a specific hotel for isolation for 2 weeks. The whole process was very exhausting. And the 14 days spent in hotel is almost like a prison. So 3 meals delivered to your room. You're not allowed to step out of your room. So basically, the only space for you to move around is just like 14 square meters. And so it's more like a war zone. And after 40 days, I was released. So I understand it's a special time for a worldwide pandemic. And only with this kind of tight control, people in China can feel safe. And the effect is very obvious. The social life almost returned to normal. If there is any sporadic outbreak here and there for a few cases of COVID-19, it will soon be contained and return to normal. So it's natural to see that things are in tight control, but don't jump to conclusion too fast. Not everything is with clear rules. For example, I tried to get a phone card with my passport because I left China a long time ago. My ID card already expired, so I can only apply for phone number or bank account with passport. I asked the offices and I got different feedback from many offices. They know how to deal with the case of application with ID card. They know how to deal with cases, the application with the foreign passport, but with the Chinese passport and without an ID card, they don't know. They don't know how to go with the process. Luckily, at one big office, I got a clear answer, and I got my phone card approved with the passport, and also I got a bank account processed. I was very happy. So The second day I went to a business trip, and seems I got happy too early. The second day I tried to transfer my money from my bank account to my WeChat account for online payment. My phone number was blocked in the suspect of money laundering, because I guess they never deal with my case that there's someone try to make this kind of transaction with the Chinese passport. So it's kind of interesting that you can feel that things progress very fast, and a very strong impression that it's almost a cashless society. Basically, wallet is almost an obsolete concept for young generation. Every transaction was done through a cell phone. So basically, you can purchase everything online and got it delivered to your door the next day or even the same day. But that created a few awkward moments for me because my ID card is not available. I cannot get certified through this kind of online transaction. And for example, if I take a bus, I fail to make payment through my cell phone. I have to ask for help from other riders. For my own experience, I went abroad after graduation from university. I barely had any working experience or social experience in mainland China. So quite a lot of things I need to get used to, especially after this 20 years rapid progress. And I just feel many things so new to me. I can easily get lost in the forest of skyscrapers. It's overwhelming, but you have only 25 seconds to cross a wide road. You have to fasten your steps to make sure you can cross it. And I got phone calls from young guys late night at 11 o'clock because I briefed through the rental app for house rental, and they noticed in me. They work hard, they work so late at night, and they try to get customers. And you can go through a whole body check in one building within half a day, because this is a company dedicated to medical check, and it's very convenient. So it's also an indication that people care more about their own health. There is such a huge demand, and they can make a good business from it. But on the other hand, people smoke without caring about the surroundings, without caring about other people's feeling. And the best performing stock in Chinese stock market is a company making alcohol. So there are so many surprises, and every day you see something new, something surprise, some shocking, something amazing, and things evolve fast. People are anxious. People are kind of stressed. People are hardworking, and I believe they deserve a better life. So this is a very basic lifestyle, very vibrant. You can see 5,000 years of agricultural civilization mingled with the most recent 40 years rapid progress into a modern science and technology-based society. things got more abundant, but the mindset, it need time to catch up. And this is China. This is my home country. I'm still learning, but I'm happy to see the progress. So home is where you can find peace of mind. I think I'm in a way of finding it, and I'm closer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Please take a minute to give some feedback to Siguang using the Google form in the chat. And right after this, we will start the evaluation session. So Chi, please get prepared to evaluate Arnie. And Shamla is restarting her system, so we will do table topics later. Let's start the evaluation session. So General Evaluator Gavin, please lead the evaluation.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Fantastic. I really enjoyed every part of the prepared speech session. Now for the evaluation, we have 3 parts. Since it's very important, it's the core for Toastmaster educational program. It's also the central part for our growth. Part 1, the evaluators will evaluate the speaker's speeches. This part we call it's the traditional evaluation. We have 2 assigned evaluators for 2 speakers. Part 2, round robin evaluation. This is the part everyone has the opportunity to get involved and provide what you think, what's your suggestion for the speaker. Especially our guests are welcome to contribute in this part. Just feel free to express what you have seen, what you have felt. Yeah, it's all about your observation. And part 3 is my general evaluation part. I will give a 2-minute evaluation at the end of the meeting. Okay, let's get started. Evaluating our first speaker today is Chi. Chi is works in healthcare profession. She also has done a lot of public speaking to students in the healthcare professions. Please help me welcome Chi.
So thank you. Okay, so I just go on, talk about the speech.
You have 2 to 3 minutes.
You have 2 to 3 minutes to give your feedback to our speaker.
Okay, so I wrote the notes, comments. I'll just go over it. I found so Ernie interact with the audience really well by asking the questions in the beginning. When you ask, do you remember any nursery rhymes? I find that asking questions like that is the best way to interact with the audience and capture the attention. Otherwise, it's just all one-way conversation. So asking questions is a really effective method of interacting with the audience and also engaging the audience into your speech. Also feel that you build up your story very well. When you after you ask about the nursery rhymes and you give your example, you build up the story pretty well. You use very good examples too to illustrate your point in your story. I also find you very creative because I never thought about singing in a speech. So that was a very creative to me. And throughout the speech, it was you have pretty good eye contact, engage the audience really well. That was great. Things to improve on. I wasn't sure about your gestures throughout the speech. I don't know if the gestures actually correlate to what you were saying or actually support what you were saying, your gestures. So it may be more helpful in terms of like making these gestures a little bit more distinct and deliberate. And sometimes your gestures, I find that some speakers even exaggerate on these gestures a little bit to actually illustrate their point. For example, I had used, I think you mentioned the word quote in your story. So I have seen a speaker use, when they say quote, they use 2 fingers up. And then when they speak little things, they use like 2 fingers, like tiny little fingers to illustrate the word little. So those are some things that I've seen speakers done before in the past to actually illustrate their point. And also during the speech, you were very good with the vocal variety, with your speed and tone and volume. I also find that some speakers, in order to actually emphasize their stories a little bit better even, they would try to pause, do long pauses. If you illustrate a point and you find that point is very important and extremely interesting to your story, it's very relevant, then you would pause for a longer time period. Like for example, I have seen people would say, oh, this increased the risk for death. And then after they say the word death, they will pause for that and just have the audience realize that is how important it is.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
So other than that, the only thing I had was the gestures be more distinct and deliberate. I hope that would improve over time. And yeah, and also pauses a little bit longer during your speech in certain areas. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Chi. Thank you for the very detailed description for the improvement. By the way, for evaluation or giving feedback, you may consider number 1, how the speech affected you. Number 2, your observations, not your opinions, your observations. Observations that use I language, I saw, I felt, I heard, and evaluation should avoid the usage of superlatives. Number 3 is a recommendation with specific examples. I think this part, she has really done a good job with very specific examples. Moving on, for the round robin evaluation, you have 30 seconds to 60 seconds for the round robin evaluation. So be specific and tell us how Arnie's speech affected you. Who want to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. I like Ernie's speech because it's got a lot of creativity and rhyme, and it's very well connected. There's 2 things I would like Ernie to improve. One, the first time when he got the paper, he was moving it real fast, like kind of shoving it to our thing, and I could barely see it. I would make it slower, like she was saying, a slower gesture. And then at the end, you didn't see. I don't know if you ended the speech or not. You just disappear. So yeah, I would recommend that you say thank you and then or pass it to Madam Toastmaster. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dean. That's really specific. That's great. Next, Yufan.
Hey, Annie, I like you have little props when you're speaking, but then you kind of move the papers so close to the camera that part of it gets out of the screen. I would suggest you keep an eye on the screen while you bring up the piece of paper. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Yufan. Next. Or you may just signal me in the chat box. Tap 1. 1, 2, 3, 1.
So I would like to give a comment for Arnie's last part is using a song to conclude your speech. That's a really nice conclusion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Yichun. Next.
Go ahead.
Jasmine. Yeah, Jasmine.
I'd like to make a comment on how I feel when Arnie is making the speech. He seems to be very comfortable about his speaker role, based on the way, you know, the smile on his face, the tone. Like Chi mentioned the variety in the vocal variety. I could kind of feel, you know, the rhythm in his voice, and it makes the whole speech very enjoyable. I mean, of course, including the content. I mean, everything add up together make the speech very enjoyable. So I like to share that. That's how I feel. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. One more. If not, let's move on to the evaluation for our speaker 2. Our second evaluator is Harry. Harry lives in Boston in the East Coast. Please help me welcome Harry.
Thank you. Dear fellow Toastmaster and welcome guest. It is my honor to be an evaluator for Siguang. You know, as a new member of this club, I don't know Siguang very well, but from his speech, that gave me an opportunity to know him a little better. You know, as somebody who recently returned to China to share his story, his journey of a journey for coming home, but otherwise it is a home that has left for 20 years, if I got that correct. 20 years, it is a long time, right? Especially for a country that has developed so much in the recent history. So first of all, I find the topic of your choice is excellent. You know, it's a very good topic, and I think everybody would be interested in this kind of a personal story. You know, as somebody who took this long journey to settle down somewhere that you call home, but otherwise that is a strange place. You know, for many people. It is a good topic. When I first see the title, a sort of a homecoming, I was wondering what it is about. And after your speech, I fully understand, you know, why you have this title. You give you speak very clearly. That is very good, with a good pace. So that make it easier for us to understand, you know, the story. Also, I like some words you use, like you know, like a war zone, like a prison, for example. When you first settle down there, that is something that only a new visitor can describe that feeling, because once you settle down, you don't feel this anymore. You feel everything is normal. You know, you don't feel it's a prison, or you don't feel like a war zone, because everybody's living in it. So that is a pretty vivid language to use. And also you can experience a someone not a resident, but yet not a foreigner. You are someone in the middle. That is, I guess, that would be a very personal feeling, to settle down somewhere. So I believe this story, this whole topic is dear to your heart. It's something you can tell with a lot of passion, a lot of emotion in it. So I understand that you're going to give that speech again. So I do have some suggestions. One is, I mean, you're telling this story more as a conversation, tell to like some old friend. But to make it as a speech, I think you could take some skills, some techniques from the general Toastmaster techniques, like use some vocal variety, use hand gestures to enhance the effect of the storytelling. Because we're trying to set our bar a little bit higher, rather than just to tell a friend of a story. I think that's something you can try. When I see that, I'm not saying that I'm better than this. I'm learning. I just, like, for example, last week, we had this speaker from Ireland tell us about humorous speech. I think there was something a lot we can learn. Another thing, I noticed that I have a red light over here right now, and you have the red light. That means we're running into a time. So if it is a 5 to 7 minutes, so you want to prepare something right at the 6 minutes. And then if it is go over a little bit, you're still well within the minute limit. So the time is something we want to control as a speaker. Another thing is you want to experiment all the different skills, different techniques from the Toastmaster, because club is a safe place. You can try it. If it doesn't work, it's okay. Try something new, something we can learn from the book. That's all I can say. Thank you very much. This is a great speech. I really enjoy it. I'm looking forward to the next time, actually. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Harry. Now it's the round robin evaluation again. When doing the evaluation, please say how the speech affected you, and then give recommendations with specific examples. 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Pretty, you may go first, right?
Yes. Hi, Sichuan. It's great to hear your story, and it's very touching. And I would like to make it very short. And also, it's great to know about you more. This is the first time I'm hearing your presentation. And 2 recommendations. I would say tone variation. There is a lot of emotion in your story, and I recommend the tone variation and also the gestures. Those are the 2 things I observed. Yeah, back to the Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you, Pretty. Then Dean.
Yeah, thank you. That was a great speech for Shumi. I thought I got really in touch with him. The way he told his story, he looks like he's a natural storyteller. The way he weaved the story. Couple of feedback. I think the story could be very funny if he used more conversational and emotional. For example, when he said, "Oh, I launder money," instead of saying, "Oh man, I launder money. I could be in prison or something by the Chinese government. I don't want to go to Chinese prison." And then also the gesture would also help. And I think if you use my 2 feedback, I think this story would be more emotional and funny. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dean. That's really pragmatic. I really enjoy your feedback. Okay, next.
Mine, so,
yeah, Arnie.
I like the Siguang. I like the self-confidence. I like the way you make the personal narration, voice projection, and of course the narration, personal story, and most of all, you have a very good emotional projection, emotion. Those are the foundation of a good beginning speech. My only suggestion is that keep on speaking. For every speech, you gain a skill. Back to you, Mr. Wang.
Okay, thank you, Arnie. Jasmine?
Yes, I have a few things that's actually similar to what Harry mentioned. Like, Si Guang pretty much painted a pretty vivid picture about, his experience ever since he set foot at the airport. And this is an experience that probably many of us, especially those from China, who haven't had a chance to go back, been wondering about. So Si Guang definitely, helped us to learn about the experience and how things are at this point in China. And also not only he gave quite a few different a collection of things that he experienced in China, but also some personal experience at a close up, right? Something about what works for you and what didn't work for you, something that you actually have to deal with the combination of passport but no ID card. And those are very interesting experience that we can learn about. And I also like how you use the vocabulary, besides what Harry mentioned, I also like how, you put things like forest of skyscraper, crapers. Sorry, I can't even say that myself. Very good variety of different things to describe the things that you see and the things that you experience. The only thing I wanted to talk about, if you want to do this again, to me personally, if you sort of give a timeline of when you went back, like when things happened, because I guess the others in the club who's been here longer probably know when you left to go back to China, but to me, I didn't. So like if you actually kind of just maybe briefly mention the actual time that when this happened, when you went back to the US, that would be helpful to the listeners. That's my only suggestion. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you, Jeremy, and thank you for all the feedback. Now I will turn the control to our tape topics master, Shamala. She is the program quality director. She is a stalwart supporter of our club. Please help me welcome Shamala.
Thank you, Gavin. And I hope you can hear me right. And the video is clear. Okay. I'm so sorry. Today there is some work going on in our neighborhood. So internet has been pretty shady. So I was hoping that it doesn't get impacted for the next 20 minutes at least. All right. This is our last meeting of the year. Not completely. So my table topic session is all about what did you do so good that you want to continue for the next year? What do you want to stop doing? What do you want to start something new that you wanted to, but you haven't done this whole year? That is a quick retrospective theme that I encourage all of you to think about, reflect upon the last 1 year and how you want to improve for the next year so that you have some goals set for yourself and improve more than what you're currently doing. A quick question to the guests. Are the guests willing to participate? If you don't want to participate, it is okay. Just say that you don't want to answer it. But let's see if you can say something, share some of your opinions. All right?
I'll go first. This is Dean. So for the next year, what I'm hoping to do is to become a better time manager. For example, I tend to rumble on or either I talk very fast. I need to like manage my time, especially when I'm talking. Also, I gotta stop complaining about all these people who doesn't wear a mask. It's no use to me. I can't really do anything about it. I'll just deal what I.
Dean, are you still talking or?
Thank you, Shamala. Sorry, I should
Okay.
have I broke my own rules. Thank you, Shamala. I'm done.
No worries. Thank you. And please remember, we encourage each of you to speak for 1 to 2 minutes and preferably use the word of the day. All right.
We
Chi,
have a
do
word
you,
of the day.
do we have the word of the day?
Is that a retrospective?
A
Retrospective
retrospective is the
is it the
theme.
theme of the day? Yeah. That
Yeah.
is fine. We can still use the same word. Retrospective is about looking back and thinking about how well we did things in the last specific time. It doesn't have to be 1 year, 1 month, 1 day. It doesn't matter. Anything in the past, you review it and make sure that you make adjustments and improvements to the future. That is what retrospective means. So we can use the same word and see if you can use it, and preferably talk for 1 to 2 minutes so that it becomes easier. All right, the next name that I see here is Tai. Tai, do you want to talk about what you would like to change in the next year that you wanted to stop and make sure that you don't repeat some of your mistakes that you probably did this year?
I don't want to change it so much because in Hong Kong it's quite well aware at this moment because the outside
Is
world
it my
maybe
that I'm unable to hear?
it's very. Can you hear me?
Better now.
Can you hear?
It's better now.
Okay, oh, okay. I don't want to change it quite a bit. Maybe in Hong Kong, at this moment it's still very well, other than other corner of the world. So what I want to change exactly is my my salary, because at this pandemic moment maybe it's really lower, and maybe sometimes maybe I fear about the loss of job. So it's a problem. So what I want to change is this year. I hope the prospect may be more better than any time of this year. Thank you, Postmaster.
Thank you, Tai, for that. Yes, fear of losing job is very common, and I think Toastmasters will help in a way, because the more confident you are that you can do a job or you have transferable skills, the less fear you will have of losing a job. And I can guarantee you, based on my own personal experience, because this is exactly how I felt in 2018 December, because there were so many layoffs happening. I was so worried that I may lose my job, but eventually I realized, oh, I don't have to worry because I'm building so many transferable skills in Toastmasters that it's okay. I can very easily land a job. And I think that is one of the ways to overcome fear, building your self-confidence, and Toastmasters is a nice way to help you with that. Thank you for sharing that. And you're not alone. There are quite a few people who are in the same boat.
Thank you, madam.
Cynthia, do you want to talk about something that you would like to start this year, or the coming year, rather?
Of course. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and many welcome guests. This coming year, my goal is to get much more involved with some areas that I've been able to start somewhat at this very end of this year. And it's probably something that doesn't interest a lot of people here, but I've been trying to be more in connection with some of the nursing homes. As you know, these are some of the hotbeds of illness and COVID, and we're of course working virtually, but because of the morale, we think it's really important to be able to help the people that are really caring for the residents that live there, because they have taken on so much and we're working so many hours, and these facilities are kind of left behind and people aren't paying very much attention to them. So I've actually connected with a local facility here where I live, and they were very enthusiastic, which is not always the case. Even though they do need help, they're not always open. but we want to, just even be able to give them some holiday happiness with cards, or to be able to show our thankfulness for everything they're doing, because they're not ideal situations and they were hit so hard by this unexpected pandemic. So in retrospect, that is what I will be looking forward to. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. It's a very nice perspective, especially when there is pandemic and we are trying to move around. So being kind is a very nice virtue to have all over, not just during pandemic, even otherwise. I was telling the kids the other day, being mean is very easy. Being nice is super hard because you have to work hard to be nice. And what you said resonates with me as well. Being kind, sending some cards, gifts to people is such a nice gesture. Thank you for sharing that. Laura, do you want to share what you would like to continue that you are so happy that you did this year and you found value in it and would like to continue for the next year as well?
Well, thank you very much. Since the lockdown, I have been able to exercise more, and I have been able to have more time for myself. So looking retroactively, I think I have done pretty good personally. For going to next year, I would like to continue with the exercise and with some other personal developments, such as participate more in the table in the club meetings. One of the areas that I want to be good at is to answer a table topic questions. And I'm just trying to, okay. So that is what I would like to continue on for next year. That's my goal. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is one thing that I have as my start for next year, because I did not exercise as much as I wanted to do this year. So that is my start for next year. So I'm very happy to hear that quite a few people are already exercising and will have interest in continuing. Thank you for that. The next question is for Fadua. I hope I got your name right.
Yes, it's Fadwa.
Fadwa. So
Yes.
do you mind sharing your perspective on what you would like to start next year? If you think that is a difficult answer, or you have an answer for maybe stop or continue, you can pick one of those either.
Yes, so I will start by saying that 2020 was one of the most difficult years of my life. So I stayed alone during the whole year without my family. So what I didn't do well is I didn't move at all. So I was just like sleeping all the time. And also I didn't eat well, so just fast food and lots of sugar. So that's what I want to change for the next year. I want to start working out or just going for a walk more often and eating much better. So starting a diet with more vegetables and fruits in it. And also my professional goal, I would love to start my new business. And that's why I need to improve my communication skills and my confidence, and I need to work harder. So I need to be more confident, and that's why I joined your club, and I hope that it will help me achieve my goals. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. You hit the nail, at least personally, because just 3 weeks ago, my husband started making salads for lunch, saying that we have been binge eating and it's not healthy. But I haven't stopped eating chips, sweets, but I'm limiting myself that to weekends as an indulgence, so that I stay on salads for most of the week and eat so that I don't feel too guilty. But at the same time, I'm not having little pleasures in life. So I can relate myself to what you just said. And thank you for sharing that. Jonathan, do you want to say what you want to continue next year, especially in professional life? Because we have heard quite a few answers at the personal level, mostly. So I want to hear what you want to continue in your professional work.
Thank you. Give me this chance. Of course, I just prepared the personal life. But the professional life, I probably just keep the same thing. Right now, the job market looks not that good. I will try to keep my current job as good as possible, well, to keep my salary can support my family. That's my number one goal for next year. In the professional side, I hope I can still continue join the Toastmaster and try to make the first ice break the first next year and use that to improve my skill in my professional life. That's it. Sorry about it.
No worries. I like the way you answered. Even though you had an answer for personal goals, you actually were able to answer from a professional work standpoint. And that is what impromptu speaking is about. Just being able to answer even when you are put on spot. You did very well. Thank you for that. Probably it's the last question until Yufang says I have more time. This is for Liang. Liang, given that you are new to Toastmasters, you can pick one of the questions, either what you want to start or what you want to stop or continue for next year. It can be either personal goals or professional goals. We just want to hear you.
Thank you. For next year, probably one thing I want to start is to join. I think I made a good decision this year to attend lots of Toastmaster meetings because of the convenience of Zoom online technology. So I get the benefit to join lots of clubs meeting without going we're going to go in for a long distance to attend different meetings. I even had a chance to join a meeting in Middle East, Berlin, Toastmaster Club. So I will continue doing that for next year, to trying to join more Toastmaster meetings and try to improve my speaking skill, try to speak more. That's the thing I want to do for next year, for sure. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much. And welcome to our club. And please visit us if you get a chance one more time. Let's all take a few minutes in the coming 2 weeks to think what we want to continue for the next year, because we have done some wonders in our personal and professional lives. And there are always things that we would like to improve upon. Let's pick those up. And there are always few things that we definitely want to start. And what are those? Have 3 goals: one to start, one to continue, and one to stop. And let's do this retrospective again next year in December. Have a happy new year and happy holidays to each and every one of you.
Wow, bravo, Shyamala.
You,
Great
Fan.
job. Maybe it's my turn.
Sorry, yes, please help me welcome Gavin back onto the stage virtually.
Okay, thank you, Shyamala. I really appreciate everything you have done during this session. I think it's perfect. I will get back to this part later from a general evaluation. Now I want to listen to the reports from our supporting rules. So first, our timer, Pretty, can you give a report?
Hi, Kevin. Sure. Here I have the list. So for today's speech, Arnie, it took 7 minutes, 28 seconds. And for Arnie's speech, she took the evaluation time about 3 minutes, 56 seconds. And Sejong's speech is 9 minutes, 16 seconds. And Harry took for evaluation 5 minutes, 15 seconds. Coming to table topics, he took about 40 seconds, probably because of the microphone problem. I guess he can't able to continue. Thai, 1 minute, 20 seconds. Cynthia, 1 minute, 47 seconds. Laura, 1 minute, 16 seconds. Padua, 1 minute, 2 seconds. Jonathan, 47 seconds. Leon, 1 minute, 2 seconds. Back to the evaluator.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Pretty, for the detailed report. Next, our counter today, Jasmine.
Thank you, Gavin. First, I have to apologize for not being able to do the art counter for everybody all through the entire meeting, because I was mainly trying to focus on the ones making the speeches. So here's my report on the main speeches and the evaluations. See, like those of you who's a frequent, the member and the frequent visitors of this club probably know that I am pretty bad about this filler words myself. So as an art counter for today's meeting, I'd like to mention a few people who I noticed a bit more of this occurrence. Harry, I noticed that you have a few R's and So's. And one thing I want to mention that I don't know if you notice yourself, but occasionally you seem to be making this this sound, not as obvious as I just did, but I did notice this a few times, both today and previously. So maybe this is something that you might want to pay a bit more attention to. Siguang, during your speech, I noticed quite a few R's and R's and so's. So this is something you might want to, pay a bit more attention to if you're doing this speech again. I noticed Chi making a couple R's, also so's, and Preeti seems to have also a few repeated R's and R's, something like that. That's what I mainly were able to count. Thank you. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. Thank you for the report. Next, our grammarian, Yi Chun.
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, everyone. As a retrospective, I would like to say that I would like to highlight two things. The first highlight is Cynthia use the word of day. That's the only one I heard use this word of day. Thank you very much, Cynthia. The second highlight, this is the first highlight. We would like everyone try to use the word of day as many as possible time. This is second highlight is we have a several very good usage of the language. For example, I would like to highlight Siguang. He used a lot of a metaphor to, for example, prison, like a prison. All these give us a vivid picture and vivid language. Those are used by Harry and also used by Jasmine. So these are two highlights. And also I would like to have two lowlights. Most of our speakers have one very common grammar error is mixed up the past and present tenses. For example, Siguang, you said, I have to ask for. This is I had to ask for because it was a past. And also Harry, you said, I find this topic is interesting and I found this topic is interesting. So this is the first thing. And also Jasmine, all most of people have that parts during our speech. So it will be good to think about it when you talk about it. Or also, slow down will help because especially improv speech, table topic speech, slow down will help you to think before you speak. The second common error is subject-verb disagreement. There's an example in Siguang's speech. There is still many things. So this is that there are still many things. So these are two common errors we usually have. And also another advanced requirement when we were talking about something, try to make it simple. I give an example for things. You said what I'm hoping to do. Actually, you can simplify that, what I hope to do. So those are my report today. Thank you very much. And back to our general evaluator, Gavin.
Wow, Yichun, I think you're an expert in English.
Oh my God.
You may categorize the errors, different types of errors. Okay, thank you for the report. Now, I believe it's the time for me to give 2 minutes general evaluation of the whole meeting. Today, we got 19 members for the last meeting 2020. That's really something big considering the holidays. Congratulations to each of us, including to me, Gavin. And this is exceptional. The word Cynthia has used. The Toastmaster you found, you have navigated the whole meeting very smoothly. That's great. And I would suggest you elaborate the theme of the day, retrospective at the very beginning, so the whole meeting can follow or flow naturally, especially for the table topics session part, can echo with this part, with the theme. And the word of the day, my suggestion here is if we do not have the word master, we can just put the word of the day on the agenda and everybody can see it, right? It's just a learning process. I think probably it's a better practice. Just put the word of the day on the calendar agenda and everyone can learn it even before the meeting. So we can use it more naturally. Yeah, the welcoming the guest. Yeah, that's pretty good, this part. I think we lack a good introduction for speakers. Introduction is very important because it can pave the path or set the stage for the speaker's speech. Also, evaluator and speaker, I believe they should communicate with each other before the meeting. Since we just get the agenda set up 3 days before the meeting, I would suggest the evaluator and the corresponding speaker should communicate with each other relating to the speech information, the evaluation form, or any extra expectations at least 2 days before the meeting. This is another suggestion. And for our speakers, 2 speeches today, I think all of them are great because it's very personal, a lot of emotions and reflections. Like little things matter, really matter, because it may matter to a country. And for our evaluators, I have 2 suggestions. Number 1, to reduce the paraphrasing. I heard too much paraphrasing part of the content because it's not, for evaluation, it's not about the listening part. So we use the content just to support our point in evaluation. And number 2, it's about the concern of time. I would encourage you to use a framework, to follow a framework, to control the allocation of time. And here we have a recording, a workshop from Dennis. You can look into it if you haven't. Table topics part is, I think, is the best part for this whole meeting. There were several reasons. Number one, we have 6 guests. Of the 7, in total, we have 7 members participated in this part, and we have 6 guests. Number 2, the transition is very clear and very pithy, very pertinent. Number 3, Shyamala is very good at encouraging people. For instance, she just said, I liked the way you answered this question, even though it's too short. And that's really great, you know. I just feel surprised. It's very educational for the conclusion. Shyamala just dropped off because of the device, but kudos to her work. All the rules, supporting rules, timekeeper, accountant, grammarian, exceptional job. And thank you again. I hope you all happy holidays and enjoy a prosperous new year ahead. Back to you, our Toastmaster Yifan.
Thank you, Gavin. Anyone who has not yet voted your favorite table topic speaker, please do so. And while we are voting, let me share my screen. All right. Let's congratulate our members' progress. Gavin, he has just finished the 4 passes in the pathways. That's tremendous achievement. And congratulations, Gavin. And,
Okay. Thank you for all the support. I will complete all 11 paths before March 20th, 2021. Probably I will be the first person to complete it. I don't know, but probably.
Yes, thank you, Gavin, and be easy with yourself. On the other side, I have finished the level 1 of motivational strategies, and Yifan, who's not here today, but she has finished the level 2 of visionary communication. Thank you all the guests, Dean Chen, Padua, Tai, Laura, Chi, and Liang, and Shyamala. So any of you who has feedback for us, please speak now. Just unmute and shout out.
Hi, this is Dean. I enjoy the speech. You guys have really good speeches, and I enjoy especially the round table feedback and the table topic. Just a feedback. I ditto Gavin. I think the way you do the word of the day, you can repeat it 3 times. First, have the Toastmaster repeat it, then have the grammarian repeat it, then have the table topic master repeat. So everybody will know what's the word of the day. And I also would recommend the table topic master what the time is for table topic, because I got a brain fart and I forgot it was supposed to be 1 to 2 minutes. And sometimes table topics are different times for different clubs. Thank you, but I really enjoy this club and I think I'm come back to visit.
Thank you, Dean. We will send you further information. And anyone else? Okay, it's already 6:30. Let's do our next meeting. Let me see. And Annie, sorry, and Cynthia. So club business. Let's continue to do the officer training, and also Declan asked for feedback. I sent all the members a feedback form. We fill that if you have time. And we would really appreciate your feedback for all the workshop speakers. And next we have evaluation workshop by Renee Yao on January 9th, 2021. Now let's do meeting assignments for next meeting. So we will not have a meeting on December 26th. We will have a meeting on January 2nd. And the schedule here is Jonathan to give his icebreaker, and I believe the other speaker is Cynthia. So let's fill up the other roles for the meeting. So Toastmaster. Gavin, how about you be the Toastmaster? It looks like you haven't taken this role in this club.
Okay, I can do it. Although I have done it, I believe, more than 50 times during the past 3 years in other clubs.
And table topics. Let's see. How about Jasmine? Jasmine?
Yes.
Yes, I haven't done it. So should I decide on the table topic?
Yeah, you can decide with Gavin what theme you want to talk about on next meeting.
Sure, I will work on that. Thank you.
Anyone wants to volunteer for the general evaluator?
I can be the general evaluator. Look like I haven't done it for a long time.
Thank you. Evaluator 1 for Jonathan.
Faidua, do you want to be an evaluator? You can watch the recording on how to evaluate effectively.
I don't know if I'm going to be a good evaluator for the first time, but I can try.
Okay, that's awesome. Have you seen the URL in the chat box?
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. That's for my yes.
Yes, okay.
You got it, right? From my observation, this is one of the best evaluation workshops from Toastmasters.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be very helpful for you.
Thank you. Okay, I will do it.
There's also a lot of information on the Toastmaster Club website about the role, but what you need to do.
Okay, grammarian.
Cynthia will be a grammarian, right?
She's a speaker.
Oh, she's a speaker, yes. Okay.
Liang, do you want to be the grammarian?
I'll do it.
Arnie? Okay,
yes,
thank you. Counter.
How about a chi for our counter?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Thank you.
She's nodding.
Thank you. And we need a timekeeper.
Already?
Yeah. If no one else, I can do it. I just did it last time.
All right.
It's a pretty good job.
Thank you. And
Prithvi will be telling a joke, right?
Yes.
That's good. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's see who's the best table topic speaker. That's Fadua. Congratulations.
Wow.
Fadua, you see why I suggested that you be an evaluator, because I discovered that you're very good at speaking and at evaluating your own life.
All right.